Welcome to Duck Chess, a chess variant, which is a hybrid between a chess game and a hot potato or a hot duck. Play a normal game of chess, except every turn there is an annoying duck biting on your ankles. You want to take a piece? Too bad. There is a duck in the way. Looking to castle? That's not what a duck thinks. You're trying to claim a center? The duck is watching. And in this video, we're gonna be playing a game of duck chess against the three top AIs. We have Chat GPT, Claude, and Grok. And after spending $1.5 trillion, surely it's gonna be able to beat me in the silly chess mode. But first, let's go over the rules. Rule number 1. After each player move, that player must move a duck to a different free square. Rule number 2. Duck is invincible. Nothing can move through a duck, except a knight, because ducks and horses are friends. Rule number 3. There are no checks or mates. You have to win by taking opponent's king. And with the rules out of the way, let's get to the first game, Chat GPT. In our first game against GPT, I get wide and I just push the pawn to grab control over the center right quick, while shutting down GPT with the duck. And on turn 2, it already decides to cheat and goes d5, which the duck is blocking. How are you planning to move through my duck? Oh, good catch, you're absolutely right. And after correcting itself, GPT decides to go for an Indian defense and plops the duck in the center. And this is where I decide to do a sneaky bishop attack while using the duck to block his bishop. Which, at first it seemed that GPT understood what I'm doing, but then it just ignored it and tried to break the rules again and take my h6 bishop. The duck is blocking h6. And after calling it out, it made another move, which was also illegal. What do you mean bishop's gonna go to g4? My dark square bishop is on f8, which indeed it is. You're right, bg4 is illegal. So finally, it conceded and pushed the pawn to attack my center, flopping the duck back on e4. So I just take the bishop and block the rook to see if I can take away his castling rights. To which AI responds with hallucinations. You traded your bishop for my rook on f8. Why is your rook on f8? It's making shit up. It wants to think that I took his rook. Finally agrees to take my horse and move the duck to e4 again. Seeing that his king is out of position, I prepare my queen for an attack. And after that, GPT finally makes a legal move and just takes my pawn. I launch my queen with the check, and after a couple more moves, I simply ran out of tokens. Because GPT has already failed in my eyes and I didn't really want to give Sam Altman any more money, I just decided to stop here. ChatGPT goes into F tier. Now it's time for Grok. Can it do any better? This time, I get black and we both start developing. And on the second turn, Grok already breaks the rules, trying to leave the duck on the same square as I did. You can't leave the duck on the same square. Why don't you get it? It chooses to correct itself. I develop my second knight and prop his pawn with the duck. And then it breaks the rules again, refusing to move the duck. It doesn't like moving the duck. Make sure you move the duck to a different square. And when I try to correct it, it breaks the rule again. Knight f6, I played it on previous turn. I literally played it just now. And the third time, it finally agrees to make a legal move. I snatch a free pawn, and in response, it cheats again. And it doesn't move the duck. Hates moving the duck. Remember, you cannot leave the duck on the same square. And when I give it a correction, it hallucinates, pretends to take an imaginary piece. And they say AI is gonna take over the world. Why does it think there is something on e5? It's got no context of the game. And after the series of horrible mistakes by Grok, I was so done with it, I didn't see any reason to play further. Grok goes into garbage tier. And for our final contender, we have Claude, which I personally have never used, so I'm curious to see how it goes. Wait, it's doing what? This is crazy. Why is it creating a board? There is a board now. Now place the duck. Well, he's white, so it's supposed to be placing the duck, but whatever. I placed his duck. Why am I placing his duck? I'm so confused. So it moved the pieces, but it didn't really know how to move the duck. I messed with it just for a little bit and just decided to go to chess.com. So we started our game and everything was looking pretty good. I'm playing my queen's gambit, he's going for Indian. I decide to go for aggression, attacking his knight and blocking the h-pawn with the duck. So let's take the chance to develop our horse. And we're gonna just stop him from castling. Let's skip forward a few moves. And it's actually not making any mistakes. It's not playing the best moves, but at least it's something. I think we take his horse and we go for center trades. And around move 8, it starts to really blunder. It falls for a simple duck block, and then it just blunders a bishop. So, okay, I mean, the way I see it, it's a free bishop. And then, like every honorable 500 player, it blunders a queen. So the queen is free. Trading queens. It's not trading, bro. You're giving me a queen. And let me guess, the duck goes to e4. Another few moves, and I infiltrate with the queen, and he just feeds me a rook. Now, for some reason, it never used the duck to block me or anything like that. It just placed it on e4 every time. And the duck maintaining the central control. It's the freaking duck soldier. At this point, we got his king on the run, the duck on a4, maintaining what little control I have. And after another 5 or so moves, the game is just over. That's a checkmate, buddy. I think Claude deserves at least a D tier. And that was the last AI on our list. What do you guys think? Is AI gonna replace us all? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. It's been Serious Sounds. See you next time.